Hi guys! If anybody does not know me, my name is Allison, and if you have been hanging out with us at Pink Lily for a little while, then you probably saw my makeup tutorial last year. I think it was in June, so it's been a little over a year. That's crazy. But wanted to hop back on here and kind of do an updated one for you guys. One, because it's been over a year, and two, because Pink Lily has brought in some products this year that one, I am obsessed with, and two, we really think you guys are gonna love. They're super easy, super cute, great gifting ideas. I know that the holidays are on the way, so these are perfect if you want to have a gift for somebody, or if you just want to kind of treat yourself, that works too. So I'm gonna show you guys all of the products, and then I'm also just gonna do a full face because I know that was super helpful. We still get questions even today about stuff that we used last year, but this year it's going to be a lot easier because a lot of the products are from the same brand. So if you're familiar at all with our friend Kaylee Rogers, she's one of our ambassadors that we work with, and she is a presenter for Younique. So when we told her about this idea, she was so excited and wanted to hop on board and send us some products. So most of the products that I'm using today are from Younique. If you're interested in Younique, I'll kind of tell you the names and how the products work, but the majority of the things I'm going to be showing you from Pink Lily are, one, our makeup bags, which are awesome. I'm obsessed with them. And two, our makeup brushes, which are also a super good quality, and I absolutely love them as well. So to start out, I'm going to show you some of the bags just because I feel like that'll be easier. They come in different prints. So we have the black. This is just like a leather. It's really nice on the inside. So all of these compartments are adjustable. You can kind of remove them and move them around to make them the size that you want, which is super nice. So we have the black one. We have this white and black leopard, which I absolutely love as well. And then if you're into the tie-dye trend, we have this pink tie-dye marble print, which is super, super cute. And that's what I've got all the makeup that I'm going to be using in today in. We have this brown leopard, which is just a good classic. Everybody loves animal print right now, and I think the brown is super classic and easy. And then we have this solid blush, and this one is similar to the black. It's just like a good leather. It's like a mauve blush color, which is really pretty. So those are all of the ones that I'm going to show you. And then as far as brushes go, we have a couple different sets. We have this set, which is going to have the marble on the end. It's super cute. And then we also just have the black as well. So all really good quality. And then I'm going to use all of these today as well, so I can kind of tell you what they're used for, which ones I use the most, all that good stuff. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with concealer, which this is one of the few products I'll be using that is not Younique. So I'm using Shape Tape because I can't give it up. If you don't use Shape Tape yet, highly recommend. And this is Fair Light Neutral. So I, to be honest, have not tanned as much this summer as I typically would, so I am a little bit closer to my winter colors than I am my summer. But if you feel like you have a similar skin color to me, then I'm using shade Fair Light Neutral. So I just go under the eyes. And then I'm gonna use majority of the brushes out of the ones with the black on the bottom. But like I said, both amazing quality, and I'll probably pull some of these for my eyeshadow. So for my concealer, I'm going to use just a smaller brush. This can also be used for eyeshadow. A lot of people also use a damp beauty blender, which is a great route as well. But for the sake of today's video, I wanted to show you options where you can really get the full use out of some of our brushes. So for all of this, I'm just going to be blending. Also, probably should have mentioned there's a mirror right here. So if you see me looking down, not looking at the table, just using the mirror. And as you can tell, this just really brings a highlight to some areas that would typically be darker, whether it be darker circles or you just want to kind of brighten up the area. As far as it going under my eye, I typically do this in more of a triangle below the eyes, and then I also bring it up to my lid. And this helps me use the concealer as kind of a base for the eyeshadow, so that'll really help my eyeshadow, which I'll put on a little bit later, stay in place. So just get that all blended in. And if you are interested in using Shape Tape, just wanted to know a little goes a long way on the product. So you don't have to use a ton, and it blends really, really well, and it doesn't crease or anything like that. So after I've got my concealer on, I'll go ahead and do my foundation. So this is a stick foundation from Younique, and this is in the color Lace. I'm just gonna put that on in kind of random spots, and then I'll blend it all together. And for this, I'm going to use more of a flat-edged brush that's typically best for foundation. And as you could probably see before I put any makeup on, there are definitely some blemishes on my face, so this is a really good full coverage foundation. I'm not having any issues with covering those up, which is great. And it just blends really nicely. And then I'm gonna always blend a little bit down into my neck, just because you don't want any harsh lines. That is never fun to have. And then I typically don't have super oily skin, so I do not use a setting powder. But if you are interested in using a setting powder, or that's something you have oilier skin, that might be a route that you want to take after the foundation. And this foundation is great for not getting oily, but just in case you're somebody that needs that extra powder, now would be a good time to add that in. Let's see here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and do eyes. So I'm using an eyeshadow palette by Younique, and it has 4 colors in it. I don't see a name for the actual palette, but I will tell you all the different color names as I go through here. But this one is absolutely beautiful for fall. Here's the full palette. If you watched my video from last year, I did more of kind of like a all year round, more neutral look. So I love that this has the burgundies, and it'll kind of give you another option for doing your eyes to kind of spice it up. This might be perfect for a date night or something like that. So I'm gonna start out going in with my more neutral color, and you don't need a ton. Always wanna dust off your brush before you put the product on. That'll help you kind of lose that full dust where it comes down below your eye. And I'm gonna go into my crease and just kind of a windshield wiper motion back and forth. The key to doing your eyes is blend, blend, blend. And then when you think you've blended enough, blend some more, because you never want any harsh lines or anything like that. Do the other eye, still windshield wiper. And as you can see, this one's a little bit darker than this one, so no big deal. Can come back over here, add slightly a little bit more product. This is obviously just the first color that we've got going on there. So you're always gonna add more on top, and at the end, you just kind of blend it all out. Going back to the brush that I was using, this is another one that's got the black bottom down here on the, and it's just kind of straight up. It's more of a fluffy brush, so nothing that's too stiff on the bristles or anything like that. And then I'm gonna come back in, and this is more of a flatter one. This is another one that you can also use for concealer if you're doing a more precise conceal where you're trying to get in small areas. You can use something like this. I love to use this just in the very center crease of my eye and in the corner, just because I don't want the darkest color all over. So I'm gonna come in with this darker burgundy color and just kind of create some definition right in the very crease. Then I'm also gonna bring that down into the corner for a little bit smokier of a look. And like I said, if you get too much or you're like, whoa, that's a lot of color, you're always gonna blend it out at the very end. So I'm gonna go to the next one. The key when doing your eyes is always make sure you're keeping your darker colors out towards the edge of your eyes. It's gonna make your eyes appear a little bit wider apart, a little bit more open. You never wanna do anything super dark in here in the corners. You want that to be the brighter part. Just kind of brightens up your whole entire look, makes them look more evenly spaced and not as closed, if that makes sense. Next, I'm gonna, where's my guy? This one. I'm gonna pull another one. This has a slight, can't even think of the word, like a diagonal to it, which is really great for going across the lid. And I'm going to use my brighter. As you can see, these are a little bit shimmery, so I'm going to go in first with a brush, and then I'm going to go in with my fingertip. That just really gets all the pigment on your finger and kind of presses it in to make sure that stays on really nicely. So I'm going to come with this gold color, and this is also perfect if you're into a more kind of glam look all the time. This is perfect for a date night, but if you're not into that, this would be an absolutely beautiful palette for like a holiday party, those kind of colors. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a smaller brush that's a little bit more narrow, something like this that's going to be more compact. I'm going to get my lightest color, and I'm going to come in the corner and really brighten the whole thing up. I just really like a big highlight right here. It really brightens up the overall look. So as you can see, if I were to leave my eyes, you'd be like, that's a little messy. So I'm gonna take my original brush, or you can even take one that has no product at all and just kind of use a clean brush to really clean up the overall look of it. And you can tell that kind of made that go in a little bit more. So personally, I do not wear a ton of mascara, a ton of eyeliner. If you're somebody that likes eyeliner, this would be a really pretty look with a winged eyeliner. You can add a little bit on the lower lash line. If you were going somewhere a little bit fancier to a party or something like that, you could always take this really skinny end and come back in and kind of add that pop underneath the eye. Like so. So that's just kind of fun if you're going to a party or dressing up or something like that. That would look really nice. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my brows. And for my brows, I am going to be using, right here. This is not a Younique product. This is from Anastasia, and it's just a little brow, right there. It's like a pomade kind of, and I like to get my brows slightly wet before I put that on. It just helps it stick a little bit better. So it's a clear, it's for lashes or brows, and that just kind of helps me get it ready for the product to go on. And then I don't use a ton. As you can tell, I do have darker eyebrows, so I just kind of try to outline them a little bit. And with this product, if you're interested in using it, once again, a little bit goes a long way. I love finding products that work like that. Like a little bit goes a long way. It helps you keep them in your drawer a little bit longer, not having to spend as much, but still getting a really good product. So I do just overall kind of outline my brow, make it seem a little bit more substantial, but nothing too crazy. And if you're interested in other brow products as well, some more that I recommend or have used in the past, if you're into more of a pencil, Goof Proof by Benefit has a pencil that I absolutely love as well. It's a really good product that goes on really nicely. It really follows its name by being goof proof. And if you want to see how that's used, I believe I used that in my tutorial on the same YouTube page last year in June. So you're welcome to go find that as well for another eyebrow option. If you're like, I don't know about the brush, you can always do that as well. So like I mentioned, nothing too crazy on the brows, just kind of highlighting, making it more of an outline. And then I'm gonna go in with blush. So I have a couple blushes. They're all from Younique. So I'm gonna show you each of them. I'm only gonna use one. Actually, before I do that, let me go ahead and put my bronzer on. That way we can blend it all together. So bronzer I'm using is by NARS, and the color of that is Laguna. And I'm going to use a more angled brush. It's a little bit bigger, and I like a more powdered on bronzer, nothing too crazy in straight lines. I really like to blend it all together. So I don't do anything too crazy as far as harsh lines. I start right here right below my cheekbone, but the overall idea is to do either a 3 or an E, no matter either which side of your face you're on. So kind of highlighting up here, right below the cheekbone, and then right below the jawbone as well will kind of help bring you that contoured look. So I'm gonna bring that up a little bit, creating the top part of that. And you don't want to go too much all over your forehead. Remember, we kind of highlighted here at the beginning when we were doing our concealer, so I wouldn't want to go back in with a darker color. So I'm going to kind of keep that on the outside and then bring it down, and then I'm going to go below the jawline as well. And then underneath the jawline again. And that really helps kind of pull everything in, our overall idea for the contouring. Just kind of give the face more of a shape. So definitely don't want to do anything too crazy, but like to highlight, or kind of the opposite, highlight, contour those areas. And then I'm going to take, see if I can get that in there. I'm gonna go back in with one of my eyeshadow brushes. I prefer to do this with a smaller brush. You can always just kind of squeeze your brush in to make it skinny, but I'm gonna do this and go down the outside of my nose. So remember, we highlighted on the top of the nose, and then we're gonna kind of contour the outside. We don't want to go up too high with that, because remember, we were highlighting the interior of the nose as well, or the inside of the eyes as well. Now back to the blushes. These are the 3 that I have. So we've got this first one, which is called Seductive, and it's a really good, just like a mauvey pink color. Doesn't go on too crazy dark or anything like that. We have Sweet. This one's just a slight bit brighter, more of a corally pink. And then we've got Supple, which is a little bit more of an orangey rust color. So this is really pretty for fall, or if you have skin tones that are a little bit warmer, that would be a great one for you. I'm gonna go with Seductive. It's kind of a mauvey pink color. I do like more of a pink, brighter blush, but nothing too corally during the fall. So I'm gonna go in, I'm actually gonna use one out of this set, and it's just a good, the bristles aren't too stiff or anything like that. And once again, I don't like anything too harsh or crazy. Always gonna tap that off and just add that color right on top of where my contour is, right above it. Just kind of blends it all together, adds a little bit of pop to the cheek, so you have that rosy cheek idea. That way you kind of highlight the apple of your cheek, and I kind of go all the way up. Some people like it just right here. Some people do that instead of contouring. I just kind of like to blend it all together. That way there's no, this is where your contour is, this is where your blush is, this is where your foundation is, and that kind of thing. It just looks, I feel like, a lot more natural when it kind of all goes together. So next I'm going to put on my mascara. This is another product by Younique. This is the Moodstruck. It's the Epic Mascara. This one does have some longer bristles, holds a lot more product. And when I go in with mascara, I typically like to put on, like, blink a few times and then start kind of running it through there. For just day to day, I typically put on about 1 coat of mascara, and then if it's a date night or going to a party or anything like that, then I'll go ahead and put on a couple coats. And this is a great mascara if you're into having longer lashes. It really adds a ton of length. So for today's video, since this is more of like a holiday party or a date night or something like that, I am gonna go in with another coat of mascara. This definitely isn't a must, but if you want to add a little bit of pop but you're not into wearing fake lashes or anything like that, this definitely provides you some length and fullness. add on the bottom as well. And I don't re-dip for the bottom personally, just because I don't want anything to be too clumpy. I just go with what's left on my brush, and I kind of go back and forth. I've heard that it's impossible to do some of your mascara with your mouth open or with your mouth closed, and I think that's totally true. Also, as you can see, I got a little bit right here. If you ever want a trick to getting a mascara off either down here or the lid of your eye, first, wait for it to dry. Second, use a dry little spoolie, which this comes in the makeup set. So once it dries, you'll just be able to kind of flick that off, but I'll wait for it to dry for a second and then I'll get it off. You can also use a Q-tip if you don't have one. But with our brush set, I love that it came with that. It's great for like combing your eyebrows, or always use it to get the mascara off, because sometimes I get a little crazy with my mascara. So there is the look with the mascara on, and then I'm just gonna go back in and you just kind of rub it across. And as you can see, it's gone. Last but not least, we have lip color. So I do have 2 lip color options, and I'm actually gonna use both so you can see both colors, but I'm gonna do kind of more of a contour idea on my lips. Obviously, you only have to use one. I'm gonna go with the darker color, which is called Snarky, and that'll be on the like the outside of my lips. And then I'm gonna kind of go in with a lighter color, which is called Subtle, on the interior. And that's just so that you can see both colors, but obviously for your everyday needs, you really only need one, unless you just wanna go for the full effect. And this is a great way to kind of create the idea that you have a lip liner in case you don't have one. And as you can see, this is like a darker mauve or purple color. This lipstick is really soft. It's really creamy, goes on really nicely, so I really like it. And then you don't need a ton of product for this, because remember, you're going in with another one, so kind of think of it as a liner. And then after I have that on, since I don't want anything to be too harsh, I kind of go in with my finger and kind of blend it out. So technically I could leave that how it is right now, but I'm gonna go in with this lighter color. And this is a really pretty, just like everyday color to put on. So that's all for my lips. Okay, so I also forgot to tell you guys, I know I mentioned it earlier when I was doing my eyes, that I have a trick that I do with my finger. So I'm gonna show you guys that real quick, even though we're done with the look, and you could totally go like this. If you're going to like a wedding or a party or anything like that, and you're wanting your eyeshadow to stay a little bit better, you can always use your finger just kind of on the crease if you're using something with a shimmer, because the natural oils in your finger will help compact that pigment together, help it stay a little bit better. So see how I put it on with the brush? This is the color we got. Even if I just add it to my finger, you can see how much more pigmented that is and how much brighter it shows up. So I'll take it on my finger, just kind of add it on the lid, and that just helps really brighten everything up. The oil's really compacted together to help it stay. So that's just a nice little trick if you're going to a party or somewhere that you need it to stay better. So now we have our finished look, which I absolutely love. I love the bright colors for a party, a wedding, for fall, anything like that. And then I wanted to show you guys one more time these makeup bags, which I've been kind of housing everything in right here this entire time. So this is the leopard one, and it just shows you how easy it is to move everything. So if you have like a bigger eyeshadow palette or anything like that, they literally slide out so easy. So you can take these out, kind of move them all different directions. The entire interior outer line has the little grooves, and then also along the middle right here. So I just got makeup all over this one, oops. but you can kind of move these to make them form however what size you need for your makeup, or you can take them all out and just have a big makeup bag. These are also hard shell on the outside, which is great for not making sure that your makeup doesn't get destroyed in travel or anything like that. So super easy, great gifting ideas. I've had one of these for a while, but I'm gonna have to grab some for some people for Christmas. So definitely a good gift idea, and I love all of the prints. They're so fun, but just really timeless and classic looks. So that is all that I have for today as far as the makeup. We've got the brushes, so make sure you hop on pinklily.com, check out all the brush sets that we have, all of the makeup bags that we have. You can grab some gifts for yourself if you want to treat yourself, or some really good gifting ideas for the holidays coming up. And I'm sure these are going to sell quick, so make sure that you grab yours even if it's early. But yeah, head over to pinklily.com and check them all out. But thanks for hanging out with me today.